Hi there! Today I'm going to show you why this might be the ultimate bikepacking tent. First, just a little disclaimer. I'm not saying this is the lightest tent you can buy. I'm not even saying that sleeping in a tent is the best way to go bikepacking. But if you're like me and you like to sleep in a tent instead of a bivvy or a hammock, and you want a tent that can fit between your handlebars, and you want a tent that is standalone, meaning you don't have to use any trekking poles or your bike to set it up, well, keep watching because this tent might be for you. I have turned to Decathlon before for hiking gear and other sportswear. In general, I believe they provide good quality for very little money. And after googling online for some tents, it wasn't long before I ended up with Decathlon again. I first looked at the tent top for trekking, the MT900 2-person minimal edition. This one looked great, but it uses trekking poles and I don't want to bring trekking poles when I'm going bikepacking. I then came across the MT900 tent. This one looked great, but it was a bit too heavy and bulky for my liking. So I then turned to the MT900 series, and first I wanted to buy the 1-person tent. It seemed perfect, but looking at it in real life, it was just a bit too small for me. It felt too cramped. So that's why I ended up with the MT900 2-person trekking tent. Pitching this tent is easy as can be. First, you put down the inner tent and peg it down. Then it's time to unfold the pole, singular. Just one pole. And do you see the yellow and black colors at the end? They correspond with the colors of the pole, so you can't go wrong there. Then you clip the inner tent to the pole and you can put the outer tent over it. Once again, just match the colors and you're golden. If you want, you can use some extra guy lines and pegs, but I haven't used those yet. This tent has a few features that stand out. The outer tent has 2 vestibule areas, which keeps your stuff nice and dry. There are also a few ventilation holes, and inside you will find a few pockets. The zippers work smoothly and it's easy to open up the tent and tuck away the doors. Now, folding up the tent is easy as well. Nothing special to mention here, just make sure you have all the zippers up and the ventilation holes closed. I love the fact that this bag is big enough so you don't have to fiddle around when folding it back down. Just a little tip if you want to go bikepacking with this tent. This bag has enough room that you can fit a sleeping mat in there as well. Nice and tidy. To me, this is the ultimate bikepacking tent. It's not the absolute lightest you can buy. It's not even the absolute cheapest or the smallest. But it's a well-sized tent with some great features and it's very easy to use. And that makes this a tent that I want to use over and over again.